Grand Chess Tour 2024 almost came to its end, and today I want to show you gameplay between Alireza Firouzja, who is having absolutely insane chess tournament there in St. Louis, and world champion Dean Loren. So first of all, coming into this game, Alireza was still in the first place, while Dean, lost some games, and generally he doesn't have a lot of success recently. Alireza started with d4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and once again, very boring transposition to Italian game. c3, d6, a4, e5, bishop g5. Pinning this knight with the queen. This is something I should probably consider playing with white pieces, because I usually have trouble, so let's see what Alireza does here. h6, bishop h4, castle, g5. So early castle from Alireza, you see, it's terrible. And now bishop g3, so Dean is trying to basically create attack on kingside, while Alireza will be trying to protect, maybe strike in the center by playing d4, like d2, d4, maybe rook e1 afterwards, maybe reroute knight this way, which is not quite common, because let's say knight a3, knight c2, knight d3, white will have to spend a bunch of time on this maneuver. Bishop g2, 4, knight b2, bishop a7, bishop b5, picking this knight. Now castle. So first of all, Dean could probably even go for long castle at some point. Not here, because basically, let's say here white tries simple bishop a2. I'm just as an example, castle. In the following position, actually move like bishop b5 prevents this long castle, because takes, and at some point, now knight c4, and slowly black will start collapsing. So castle, instead going for castle, and still, at some point kingside attack might happen. Rook e1, knight h5, king h1. So first slight mistake. So the idea from Dean here is basically this bishop on a7 is very strong, pinning this pawn on f2, this knight is coming this way, and white have to come up with something. And now this move. So the idea is knight g3, f takes g3, the only move, not h takes g3, because now actually bishop will take on f2 and black will be actually winning one more pawn on g3. So that didn't happen in the game, as Dean went for knight g7, and he's trying to reroute, maybe go for f5, maybe try to go for h5, h4, which actually looks like a very strong idea. h3, bishop h5, bishop c4, pinning this pawn on f7, king h8, bishop d5, knight d8, d4. So finally strike in the center happens. So f6, knight f1, c6, and now bishop goes back to a2. Still, keeping an eye, basically restricting the king from going to g8. This king is, I can't say it's in trouble, because basically all the pawns are kind of solid around the king. Knight e6, so knight is going to f4. At this point, this position is actually better for black pieces. Knight e3, rook d8, knight g4, and now Alireza started creating threats. King h7, bishop b1, and again king goes to h7, bishop walks this way right away. Wrong arrow. Bishop g6, queen d2, knight f4, bishop c2, queen e6, rook d1, h5. Knight goes back, and queen f7. So h4 here doesn't really work, because now let's say e takes f4, knight g4, and black are in trouble. And let's say if takes, again knight h4, and again black are completely lost. Queen f7, knight f1, knight e6, and now h4 would have been a threat if this knight was on h2, right? But as Alireza moved this knight, now he basically made a space for his bishop to go back. Knight e3, e takes d4, and guys, at this point, look at time. Dean has 3 minutes 37 seconds, and the move that he played is actually losing. So he should have got pressure. He just shouldn't have done what he did. So e takes d4, and after c takes d4, it turns out that basically at some point the strike in the center will be decisive. So what happened was d5, and Dean was trying to play in the center himself. but apparently it was not the right idea. E takes d5, e takes d5, bishop g6, queen g6, and you're like, what's the problem? The problem is that after queen a5, this bishop is under attack, this pawn is under attack. I mean, this is a weakness, and a lot of weaknesses on black side. Takes, and now queen d5, and Alireza took 2 pawns. And of course, Dean is slowly collapsing. Knight f4, queen b5, g4, takes, knight h4, queen g5, knight f5, not trading queens, takes, now trading queens, but not right away, not allowing, let's say, knight f5 straight. I mean, still possible, but you know, Alireza wants to avoid like extra difficulties by playing first queen f5, rook e7, knight f5, king g6, and now back, and here Dean resigned. I mean, what a tournament for Alireza. And actually, I'll show you the table right now. So here the idea is basically Alireza is up 2 pawns in the endgame, and after g3, simple, black have nothing to do but resign, let's say knight h5, d5, and this pawn starts promoting itself. There are possibilities of potential, you know, checks from this side. This knight is doing no job on h5, and of course, white are completely winning. 94.6 accuracy game from Alireza and 98.8 from basically from Dean. So the table, guys. The table after, hey, you saw me big, now I'm little on the right. So after 8 rounds of play, Alireza is 5.5 out of 8. He hasn't won it. He has won 3 games. He hasn't lost a single one. Fabi is second with 4.5 and 1 full point. As I said, very tough to get this point back. And as this round finished, Alireza has actually won the whole Grand Chess Tour event. Even if he doesn't win this tournament specifically, he's still the winner of Grand Chess Tour as a whole, and Fabi is most likely to finish second if I'm not mistaken. So Maxim Shelagraf till Prague with 4 points, whole 5 players, then Jan and Dean, 2 World Championship participants, and Anish Giri is last. We have Kukish versus Wesley, Nadirbek versus Jan, Fabi versus Anish, Alireza versus Prague, and Maxim playing versus Dean. Actually, one more standout, I would say Maxim Shelagraf hasn't lost a single game in the last 25, or more or less, yeah, 25 games unbeaten streak. So yeah, very solid player. 3rd place as of now, might, you know, get chance against Dean in the last round. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you've been spectating this Grand Chess Tour, because I have a bunch of videos in my playlist, so if you want to see how it all started, you might want to check it out. But I mean, if you think it's boring, alright guys, that is what it is, trying to make it more fun for you. I'll see you in the next videos. Bye bye.